Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the official specs on the all-new 2023 Ford Ranger. So with all that being said, we're going to get into the official specs, then we're going to get into a little bit of guesswork, and I know that might not make sense right now, but trust me, it'll make sense later in the video. And then we're going to kind of sum things up with my thoughts on what we have on the new Ranger. And so with all that being said, let's just get right into the video. So let's get into these confirmed specs with the all-new Ranger. So first off, it is going to be a 2023 model year truck. Now, I'm not sure if that means that we're going to basically get some of those trucks here in the US at the end of this year, or if we're going to get them in the 2023 year. We will see. But anyways, it'll be a 2023 model year. Now, aside from that, you guys can see here on the exterior of the truck, they have changed quite a bit. And a lot of those spy photos we got were pretty accurate. Wow, it's not like that ever happens. It actually does all the time. But you can see with the front end, it's got those C-shaped LED lights, similar to what you have on the Ford Maverick. And then you can see the back end of the truck looks super similar to the Maverick. I mean, the taillights especially basically looks like a gigantic Ford Maverick, but a little bit more aggressive, and I think a little bit more handsome as well. I don't think the Maverick's necessarily a handsome vehicle, but I think this Ranger is a handsome vehicle, if that makes sense. But yeah, it kind of looks like the Maverick and the F-150 merged together, kind of what I mentioned in the last video. So yeah, exterior wise I think is pretty good. And speaking of the exterior, the truck is going to have a wheelbase that's 2 inches longer, and then the track is actually going to be 2 inches wider as well. And so what that means is this truck is going to ride a little bit smoother, and you know, for off-road use and all that kind of stuff, it's going to have a little bit more stability. And you know, when you're towing and everything with a wider track, it's going to have a little bit more stability with that as well. So yeah, that's the changes to kind of like that part of the exterior. Now to the powertrain, it's going to be the same kind of what we guessed in the last video. Still going to get the 2.3 liter EcoBoost that has 270 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, goes through 10-speed automatic transmission. And then markets overseas will still get the diesel powertrain as an option. And then they also get a 6-speed manual. Man, these markets that are outside the US, they get the cool version of the Ranger. That is pretty interesting. Moving from that to the interior, this is where some big updates have happened. You guys can see here with the photo, this new interior looks really nice. You've got a huge infotainment system, similar to what you have in the Mustang Mach-E in terms of like, it's like just a giant vertical tablet. And then you can see the shifter with the nice stitching, and then you've got the drive mode select down below, which is very similar to what you have in the new Bronco. And so it seems like they're going to take some elements from all of their new vehicles and kind of throw them together into the Ranger. And then I see a big digital gauge cluster as well. So there's quite a bit in terms of changes, and the seats look really nice from what I can see here. And the steering wheel looks a little bit more modernized with the controls and everything. So basically, looks like they've taken some things from the Bronco, they've taken some things from the Maverick, and like I said, the Mustang Mach-E and all that, and kind of thrown it into this. And yeah, overall, interior is great. And if you guys are wondering on the sizes, it says that a 10-inch screen is going to be standard, and then a 12-inch screen is going to be available, which is pretty cool. Wireless Apple CarPlay, which I have in my new Raptor actually, and I can tell you right now, wireless Apple CarPlay is something that I'm not fond of because it glitches out all the time. It's not a Ford thing. It's just a wireless Apple CarPlay thing. It's not exactly a perfect system, so can't say that I'm super excited for that. Now, aside from that, this is where we get into kind of like the more speculation territory. We are going to be getting the Raptor version of this in the US market, but it sounds like they're actually going to make more changes for the Ranger Raptor than I originally thought. So I originally thought the new Ranger would come out with coil suspension, but it sounds like they're sticking with the leaf springs and for the regular Ranger. But for the Raptor version, I think they're going to do a coil suspension system. We don't have any confirmation on that. We just know we're going to get a Ranger Raptor, and then it'll probably use either the 2.7 V6 or the 3.0 V6. We'll see exactly which one they end up going for. Both those engines are turbocharged, if you're wondering. But yeah, I think it's interesting that they kept the leaf springs with the Ranger. I thought for sure they were going to go to 5-link coil suspension, because most truck manufacturers, especially in the mid-sized truck segment, are kind of going that route. But overall, I think it looks great interior-wise and exterior-wise from the specs we can see so far. And I guess this is kind of getting more into the opinion section here with the new Ranger. I'm excited for it. This is definitely, you guys know from the past, this has been one of my favorite mid-sized trucks just because of the power and performance you get out of that 2.3. And, I think the Ranger's been a pretty good looking truck, and this new version looks a little bit nicer and getting a nicer interior. I mean, this is going to be huge for the mid-size truck segment. I mean, if you guys, again, you saw the interior photo, this is substantially nicer than what you get with Tacoma, Colorado, Canyon. Gladiator's pretty nice, but I mean, that's kind of like in a category all of its own because it's a convertible truck thing. And so yeah, I mean, compared to most of the competition, even the new Nissan Frontier, they just updated that, but this definitely looks a lot more modern, a little bit more upscale than what you get with the Frontier. I'm trying to think if I always accidentally forget to mention one of the mid-size trucks when I'm going over one of these videos. But yeah, I think that Ford's definitely rocking the segment a little bit because this is going to be a big push for the other manufacturers to really update their interiors because the mid-size truck segment, we've talked about this before, just is so dated with a lot of the trucks, and this is definitely a step in the right direction if you ask me. So yeah, I'm really excited for it overall. And the one thing to mention is it also looks like they're going to be coming out of the gates with a Tremor package, basically, which is another bit of exciting news because we're going to have an off-road package right out of the gates while we are waiting for the Raptor version of the new Frontier to come out. And so I think that that is also big news. And so we'll have, again, right out of the gates, we'll have the regular packages, right? You'll have the XLT and the Lariat and all that stuff, and then we'll also have an off-road package to tide us over until we're able to get a Ranger Raptor in the US. But I don't want this video to go on for too long, and so I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below what you think of this new Ranger, if you're planning on getting one, or if you're going to wait for, you know, the Raptor version, for example. That's obviously what Ben Hardy will be waiting for because that's the version of any vehicle that I like the most. But yeah, and then also, you know, maybe what you think Ford could have done to make this truck a little bit better from what we know spec-wise. And so yeah, that'll sum things up. I'll see you guys in the next video. So I just finished filming the Ranger video and I completely forgot to mention something. There is also going to be a new package released with the Ranger, and it's the Wild Track package, similar to what you have on the Bronco. So it's not quite going to be a Raptor, but it's going to be like a high-speed off-road package from the factory, and that is also going to be in the initial bunch. So Tremor and Wild Track. Sorry that I left that out, but then that's why I'm kind of throwing this in at the end of the video so that it's still in there. But okay, now the video is officially over.